We know from the very beginning, God set the world into motion in a rhythmic way, from the rising and setting of the sun to the changing of the seasons. In the newness of life and in the existence of death, all of creation has its rhythm. And if we really pay attention, we are gifted with the opportunity to align ourselves with His rhythm.
For people who are healing from trauma, establishing new rhythms of life creates this feeling of safety. Having safety and stability comes from the rhythms of work, play, socializing. Anything that is rhythmic, repetitive, and relational is healing. And so when we think about establishing new rhythms of life, those create opportunities for healing.
I think when I first got here, it was a little nerve-wracking for me. But I know I was coming in with Christy. Well, they told me, it was like, well, you coming in with somebody else too. So when I seen Christy there, I'm like, okay, somebody else here with me, you know. And it amazed me how unified everybody was. I was just like, I'm so independent and I'm used to doing stuff on my own. So it's like, okay, well, it almost made me cry for real. Cause I was just like, this is just, it's sweet. I've never experienced nothing like that before. I'm used to doing stuff by myself.
I think what's so special to me about the relationship I have with Ryan is I think that it's like our hearts, our spirits are familiar because we've been through similar struggles. And we kind of have a genuine respect for each other just because we know what this walk of being a single parent feels like. It means a lot to have a friend who understands without having to explain too much.
Before living at Restoration House, my kids and I had been in really unstable living situations. We had never been in an apartment for longer than 2 years. Community building has been probably the biggest area of growth for me. I think the second would be just healing. I think, and some people would say healing. I think healing is definitely growth. I think it's hard to heal. And I remember just like sitting on my couch in my apartment and just like thanking God and just being like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And this is where we're supposed to be. And this is where, you know, my kids are going to heal and where I'm going to heal. And just grateful, I think, is the biggest feeling and the word, I guess I would say, to describe what it's meant to us or to me.
My experience with the Restoration House has been great. I came in with one expectation and honestly they just blew that expectation out of the water. All the things that they provide for us and that they teach us and the classes that they offer and just the assistance and the help that they are, not just financially, but they are just a great, like mental, I guess you could say, mental support and help for all of us. Good to have somebody to lean on.
I was at a function for Restoration House and it was a lunch. And at that lunch, I heard either Daniel or Mandy say that there was a lady that lived in Restoration House and was helping some ladies in the village change some brakes, and that she wanted to be, or was, an auto mechanic. And so while we were sitting there at lunch, the service manager from PALS was with me, and I said, let's check in and see who she is.
I absolutely love working here at PALS. It's been a huge just opportunity.
So it's pretty simple with what Kelly adds to our team. Kelly is definitely customer focused, and not only that, but she cares about her coworkers as much as she cares about the customers.
I am purchasing a home as we speak. Actually, I got an email earlier saying that we are moving forward in the process and everything's been submitted. It's pretty exciting stuff. I never would have imagined that being a single mom that I would be a homeowner. It's huge and I'm really excited about it.
My role in the village is more than just after-school program director. It's building relationships with not only the kids but also the moms and the staff team here.
Trust is huge. I mean, trust is honestly everything. These kids really pick up on whether you're there to get a paycheck just because it's your job or if you're actually there for them. So going out of your way to listen to them and make them feel heard is just huge, and that just allows them to trust you more.
The kids don't trust you unless you trust them, and I think that the kids here have lost a lot of trust from a lot of people that they were supposed to be able to trust, and I think that it's harder for them to build those relationships because they've lost so much trust in the past.
Trust is a hard one for me because I have felt that I have never really allowed people to get to know me because people leave. And so agreeing to let the allies in, I had to learn to trust that they were going to be here. I've had to let go of that. Some of it's shame, some of it's guilt for what the decisions I've made and how I got to the place where I felt I needed more support.
Whether it's something going on with her daughter, her son, her family, it's been a privilege to be trusted.
I had to trust that God was with me the entire time and that Him bringing these women specifically for me in this time of my life was what I needed.
Jen and I had the opportunity to do Over the Edge together. You know, it's so hard to just let somebody hold you or let those ropes hold you, and once you feel them holding you, you can do it. But I know that you're depending on me and I'm depending on you, whether I knew that that was going to come from all of this or not. And it's a pretty amazing way to build a relationship.
Yeah, most nights there's, at least a good 10 or 12 kids ready to play. They're on the playground. They tend to travel in groups like a little herd, and you can find them in any given spot in the village. Sometimes they're on the basketball court, sometimes they're on the playground.
It's nothing special. It's just your average parking lot, or driveway with a goal on it. And that's really not the point. The point is the togetherness and the intentionality of the boys being together and sharing life together.
So for the rhythm of play at our house, at any given time we can have, like I said, 3 or 4 kids coming in and ready to play, or inviting our girls to come outside. So it's so important for us to just kind of have that open kind of those healthy boundaries of letting people in and doing life together and teaching our girls how to let people in.
Instead of spending time inside alone, people are very intentional about spending time together, and they make space, and the rhythm's a little different about how we do things together. And if nothing else, we just do it because we want to know we're here for each other.
Well, I guess we live here because it's an incredible opportunity for our kids to learn how to do life with other people and to see that not everybody is the same, and that's absolutely okay. And we get to pour into their lives and into our neighbors' lives.
So when folks do things at the same time, when they meet up with the same people, when their children are introduced to neighbors, friends, family, and those people become familiar, what happens is they begin to heal. They feel safe, they feel loved, they feel like there's always enough, because the same things happen over and over and over again. And so rhythm establishes a feeling of safety, security, and gives people an opportunity to heal.